And let me just explain to you something. I don't blame anybody for not calling me. I don't blame that, because his son actually went to our ministry in London. He's friends with Sia. So perhaps in that line he thought he had contacted me. The chief of staff called me. Perhaps in that contacting me, they thought they had contacted me. But I told them exactly that if your boss does not call, it's already signed, sealed, delivered to Baumia. I said it.
Prophet Godsent Edin Sembi atujade fa yewra John Dramani Mahama ho. O se one friend in 10 days time any reasons nyina e wo nitirim. Abusa ke Black Media na subscribe na like na comment na share video na afofo so enya bi enhwe. Prophet Godsent nsema o kan na ne say politicians no before say oba stand as Frank Etufo no osesa anaso ye born again 2 times and sana waba stand for president. I was saying some de waka bi pa na osi JDM and friend 10 days before say ye beto abanya sa de a de besi de ono ankasa nitrim yenhwe Prophet Godsent and famran sama na o kan nyina yenhwe video ni bi emran ba de aka no ye de beto amso.
This that shall begin to happen shall be a thing that the Lord has made, that he is looking at the nation of Ghana with an eye that is open. And his eye is centered at looking at a country that is ravaged by economic struggles. Not because it is supposed to face it, but because there are agencies, spiritual movements that the enemy has already created, that the country has not moved in the area that it needed to move in. Because whenever God gives an assignment to a president, the church has to enact his will. So many people think that when the Lord discusses a matter with prophets and says this one is going to rule, it means that person is going to rule well just because God said he's going to rule. No. The Bible says it this way, that it is the altar that sanctifies the gift, not the gift that sanctifies the altar. That means the position of the presidency is what is anointed. And the man that sits there, you choose him. And he's sanctified by the altar of the presidency. You are not hearing what I'm saying. So God spoke to me. And you heard me speak clearly. No failure. I spoke God's word. He told me if Mahama does not call me in 10 days, he will not be president. And he did not call me. So for me, that was settled already. He will not be president. He did not call. That was settled. 100% settled. I had no doubt in my mind. 10 days. Within a few hours, his people called me, but he did not call. I don't have a problem with anyone not calling me. I'm the one who hears from God. And my position doesn't need voting in. Now hear this. Hear this. And I understand perhaps there were areas. And let me just explain to you something. I don't blame anybody for not calling me. I don't blame that. Because his son actually went to our ministry in London. He's friends with Sia. So perhaps in that line he thought he had contacted me. The chief of staff called me. Perhaps in that contacting me, they thought they had contacted me. But I told them exactly that if your boss does not call, it's already signed, sealed, delivered to Baumia. I said it. In the same vein, in the weeks that came, I had a prophecy for a man called Kabila. And God told me he should contact you, or his people should contact you within 10 days. If he doesn't, he will die. I said it. Do you know how many minutes they took? They were already calling while I was prophesying.
That's true, sir. While we were live.
While we were live, people were calling from all areas. And I'd already made a direction. You do this, you do this, you do this, and you cross this direction, and you do this and do this. including the direction. It is within that same 10 days, since that time, from the time I said it, that they went and looked for him at his house, shot up the place, burned the place, his own house in Congo. The same place I said within 10 days. You don't call me within those 10 days, you die. Did I arrange with the people that went to shoot? Do I own armies to go and do it? And that one listened. Am I talking to you? That one listened. It happened again when I was in Dubai, and I sent the routers a message. This man is arranging demonstrations, and this is the day he has not told you. This is, and the message came in. Is this really Prophet Hubert Angel? I said, I'm gonna call and say, this is Hubert Angel. You know my voice. I called. I was in church. I called. I said, this is Hubert Angel. They said, oh, it's you, sir. Put down. And let me tell you one thing. Everything I do, because politicians get born again twice before every election. I record every conversation because I know they wake up and refuse. Because it's political genius, which is political foolishness. So you challenge what I say. I wake up tomorrow, it will be on all the blogs. Because I don't want you to be challenging it. But if you challenge it, I challenge you back. In the same way you show your foolishness, I am very capable of suspending my divinity to line up with your foolishness. So here it is, 10 days. And I had seen it. You know why God wanted Mahama? Very simple. He literally told me it wasn't just the Christian side of it. He said, I have a hand in what Ghana is doing. And I've used Ghana to spread my mandate around the world. And it rests in a certain location and position that God has put it, and said Ghana is a leader when it comes to spiritual matters. That people would give another country the credit and say, this is the one. He said, this is why I put the prophetic deep in Ghana. Said, from ages past, I did it. Because I set it as a watcher when it comes to the prophetic. From the ages beyond, before I moved things around the world and spread the prophetic, I started with anchoring it with Ghana. So I said, Lord, what is it? He said, it's not the Christian part of it. Although it includes the Christian part of it. But it says, the man, I weighed his heart for the nation. And I looked at things that they called mistakes he has done in weaknesses, and I weighed them against his heart, and I said, there was an intention for good in him that can push the country of Ghana to a higher degree. Said the problem that is happening in Ghana is identity politics, where people say, I'm this one, I'm this political party. They are not looking at my will. Said, but I want to change Ghana. I have a heart. And I said, I'm going to pray. I went to the prayer mountain there. As I was there, I said, I'm praying. I want to pray. God, have you locked the door because the man has not called me in 10 days? Who am I? I'm just you, the angel. Said, you represent me, and the man failed to respect and honor that. Hear me well. Hear me well now. You were waiting for this prophecy, so listen to it carefully. And the Lord said to me, after I prayed and I prayed and I looked, you see, it was a cover given to me of all the qualities of Mahama that would change Ghana. I said, if this is the quality of this man, and you are saying these are the right ones, can it not get a second chance for this man? And God said, I'm going to give you two names of people you already have access to. True names. When I say access to, it doesn't mean say I spoke to these people, I was speaking to these people. No, I wasn't. But I knew how to get a hold of them. Said you speak to Archbishop, and then you speak to a prophet, Prophet Owusu-Bemba. He said these are the authorities I put in the land of Ghana. Now what's this? He said you put the matter before them of this 10-day timeline. When you put the matter before them, guess what? Cause them to speak to me about it and leave it with Ghana. You leave it with these two people and they will speak to him, and then they'll speak to me to reverse the 10-day timeline. And when I listen to them and I hear them, if I tell them it is so, then it is reversed. So while you were waiting for me to give you Ghana, God gave me two men that you have to reverse it, to line up with the 10 days. It was guaranteed. You call within 10 days. We will not be here now talking about this. Call within 10 days. You are president. Whether you were evil or good or bad, you are president. Call. Simple call. Hello, I have called. You think mine is wanting a president to call me? I have presidents who are spiritual sons. Just now, in a few weeks, we're going to visit one of my sons who is a president. Yes, you see me there. And we've already been given people who are in the opposition parties in other countries that God said, I'm going to change and put this one as the leader. And these people are already our sons. Do you understand what I'm talking about? He has caused that to be able to put people in power, removed some. So you hear me here, coming here, not prophesying, no, declaring judgments on presidents to remove them. Not prophecy. No. Coming here to say, who is the president of this country? You said what? Guinea-Bissau. Okay, no problem. You say Gambia. Do we like him? We don't. I will come here and say, we are removing him. You will know who Ubedenjo is. Because you don't agree, but you will see the evidence. You don't know our capacities. This is not pride talking. It's grace bestowed upon a man, upon a mouth that can decree and remove a president, put another one. New one you have never seen, you see, But we will do it here. We will remove them here, put new ones. We are not going to be prophesying now about these presidents. We are going to remove them, put new ones. So this is what God said about Ghana. He said, I know his will and his heart for Ghana. He said it's beyond others. You know, I'm speaking like this. The 10-day window lapsed. Do you know who called me? The ruling party. Has he called you? I said no. They said, but we have called. See, it is paramount. Let me tell you one thing. It is paramount that when the people who have been put in my vision as the people that have the power, after analyzing whatever they need to analyze, to shift and change it and put it back into the favor of the 10 days. That when they speak, you also listen. Because the battle for Ghana is a spiritual battle between evil and holiness, between righteousness and evil. And the capacity has been raised for Ghana, for them to look beyond the power to bring wealth, to bring this and to bring that and to bring this. Says the man you have in front of you is a changed man, a man who has seen the areas that he could have improved in his previous administration and can shift events. But there are people that might have said to him, oh, I know you, Ben Angel, has said this, and they never send the word. And I said, is it because of me? He said, no. There are many men of God that you'll begin to meet, that if these men who need what I need and want what I want, like what I like, I will shift Ghana that nobody will look at his neighbors and say it is lower than his neighbor. They will begin to see a nation changed. A nation changed. So I was shown the qualities of Mahama. Then he said, this is my choice. I gave a rule, 10 days, he didn't call. But I've given a chance for these two to establish what it is. And then when the reasons be adequate, they will speak to me. And if they speak to me and I hear them, I will reverse it, that it will look like as if he is called within the 10-day window.
I was saying now with the prophet Godsent keke na chese JDM so friend no nya sad o see reason so de onka na politics so no nyame na de ma enya wa na do pe anasa president enya wa na do pe kope all pe de obeye wa famu de ba nyame amam na so de nani etototo prophecies bi so na ordinary to say the way economy na ekone de definitely wenya de a enya papa, because bibia mu na nyame ene edidi kan ti mani ntieti nkrofo anu ni social media de ekoso no nsha omanim de ekoso ebs adwuma ho ayedin skasem galam sensem so a ekoso nyina mani fan hye trim say wenya abano na yenya ne sa abusu adwunkyere ho ni ba akofo tiretima twere wadwen e wo comment section ho no K Black Media ne subscribe na like na comment na share video na afoforo so enya bi ahwe.